Good afternoon, everybody. This is Jim Nelson, Sunny Pastures, Virginia. It's the 2nd of April, 2023, getting ready to release some Russian bees. I only ordered one packet this year. Tons of Italians, tons of wild, tons of swarms, Caucasian bees all flying around here. The thing is, I'm hoping as they produce, they release a lot more drones. Mate with all the queens and everything that we're going to be producing, and it makes stronger bee. So that's the goal. We'll see. Anyways, here they are. They came through the mail. Very few of them passed away. They did excellent. You got a few laying on the down there, but they've been in the mail for what, 4 days, so that's like really excellent. They did that. Putting them into a homemade, my son and I made homemade bee. It's a 10 frame deep, but I'm gonna make it into a 9 just to give them a little bit more spacing, because last year I did crush a few queens, so I'm gonna try to avoid that this year. So I put a bottom screen on here, extra ventilation. As you guys know, as far as tools that you need, sugar water is probably one of the most important things you're going to need. Top water feeder, only because it's cold in this area right here, right now. If you release them in the summertime, you can use the big top feeders and no worries. You can release your queen anywhere in there. There's no worries. The queen we're getting ready to release, we're going to actually attach her to a rubber band, because we want her as close as possible to the feeder. We want to make sure it doesn't move around, because here it still gets into the 30s at night. Hope it doesn't dip down to the 20s. I pray. But anyways, we can't take a chance. We got to release her above the food source where she can be kept warm and everything. So everything's ready. The interesting thing, a lot of these bees were attached here and made it all through the entire mail system. So, but they're doing really well. I may do things a little bit out of sequence for what people are used to, but there is no perfect way of releasing a bee package. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap them down pretty hard. I'm going to put sugar water on them pretty good, and all that. The main thing that does, it just kind of calms them, and it reduces the amount that they can actually swarm and fly away. You'll see professionals, they use like these industrial sprayers, and they spray them down. I've already I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Already pulled the top, just so you guys will know. Staples up. I'm going to leave the queen, in this case, attached. I'm not going to pull her out yet. I'm going to go ahead and put all the bees. Playing with me, aren't you? Are you Russian bee or are you Italian bee? Honestly, I don't know my bees well enough to tell you. I should be able to, but I can't. I'm sorry. I'd say this is about half full. So, like I said, these are our comrades. Hopefully people aren't holding things against America, Ukraine, all the shit that's going on overseas, Russian bees. I understand how that goes. Biggest thing, if we're in true Russia, probably you'd have to add a little vodka to your sugar water, because that's just the way Russians love vodka. But me, beer, helps. All right, we've got sugar water, we've got the bees. They're sugared down really good. We opened up the containers really well. This is an excellent box. It'll ventilate. The only thing we did a little bit different, we actually, I did not have a reducer that fit this box because it's homemade. So we put a stick, a little bit of leaves and grass in here. We did mark them. Number 1, Sunny Pastures, Russian #1 2023. So that's all set up and everything, and we left the space open. So we're gonna go ahead and load them out. I'm gonna pull the queen here in just 1 second, just to inspect her, and then I'm gonna go ahead and release the bees in the trap. So the queen, she's coming out right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull her and slide this cover. And let's go ahead and see if we can do a good inspection on her. All right, let's see if we can find her. Boy, yeah, they're all very active. I can see her right there. Her belly's up toward us right there. She's a nice looking, big, beautiful queen right there. So that's excellent to see, because I've actually ordered bees online, and I'm just gotta be honest, they look like crap. I mean, honestly, they were smaller than the other bees. I released them. I'm praying that they worked, and I don't know, but that's a true beautiful queen bee right here. Here's the thing that in time maybe I'll do a little bit different with her is if I was at my house or something like that, I might pull her out and mark her, because she should be mated right now. I paid for mated bee packages, so, but she is not marked. She should be marked with red. As you guys know, International Dating System for Bees, red is 2023. That's international. She is not marked. So I've got to find her in about a week and remark her. So perfect world, I'd probably, in a closed environment, let her out, mark her with red, and then release her back into my hive. And I wish I could do that, because be honest, when you're older, it is a bitch trying to find queen bees in a hive, especially when they start producing their numbers much higher. So I'm going to set her right here, and we'll go ahead and put the package of bees in. Twist my hat over a little bit. We already know she's going in. We know she's going to go on a frame. So she's attached with a rubber band. She's going to be above the sugar water going into that frame right there. So I'm going to go ahead and one more swig of beer. Sorry, my comrades, no vodka for you Russian bees. Although you guys have plenty of Italian bees around here, Caucasian bees and wild bees and everything else on the planet. Mate and be free and be happy, because that's what we want. We want to create a bunch of great queen bees. Ah, that's good stuff right there. Okay, so I'm going to spray them down again before I release them. Good sugar water. Balance that. I'm gonna go ahead and plop this one more time. Sorry about that, you guys. And I'm gonna go and spray them down really good right here, both sides. That's what 3 pounds, 10,000 bees look like. I know it looks like I'm going real heavy, but I've actually been stung releasing bees, and this really helps, and it just makes it go that much smoother. There's a lot of ways, guys, releasing bees. You guys know that. There's ways that I can just like remove frames and set this whole thing down there and release the queen, and they'll all go down there. So you can see the pile of bees that's down there. It's about 3 inches down there right now. I know it looks like I'm being aggressive, but this time of year, when you're doing a package, it's better they all go in versus trying to survive at night. If they're stuck in this cage at night, they're probably not going to survive. They just won't. It's very cold. So you slap them down. Make sure you get as many in there as you can. The few bees that are still left in here, not many. I would say maybe a little over 100. You want to go ahead and set those up, the opening right here toward the hive. Right here. Set them. Hopefully. So those bees, they've been with the queen for about 5 days. They know her pheromones. So I'm getting ready to set her in here. The bees that are in the cage and all these bees right here, based off her pheromones and smell and everything, they should stay. They have no reason to leave. Queen bee, you guys saw the Russian queen bee, very powerful female. Anyways, this is the sugar side. There's a plug right here. I'm gonna remove it so they can kind of eat that out and release her slowly. This plug over here, it's emergency release, which I've used a few times, to be honest with you. I've actually had bought packages and they weren't eating through the candy at all. I don't know if it's too hard, what the deal was, I can't tell you. But I've had to release the queen emergency. And then monitor the hive to make sure that they didn't kill her or accept her or what the deal is. So I'm gonna try to do this by hand. Bees are, like I said, they've been sugared down pretty good, so there no concerns with them. Let's see if we can get this out. Ah, got a perfect little knife here. Perfect. Excellent tool right here. I know, as you guys know, I normally have my bee belt on, and I have a hive tool and all that stuff. I don't have that today. Sorry, you guys. But there's the sugar candy. You can see the cork's cleaned out. Bees, all of them are alive. Her workers that are keeping her clean, they're feeding her, they're all doing really well. And this queen bee's really big. It's like, I wish I could mark her now, because come back here later, find her, it's really hard. But unfortunately, we got to do it. All right, so she's attached to the frame. I will say, when you lower her down you really want to make darn sure. Let me see. I think I'm gonna put her this way right here. There we go. I think that's a little better. Real slow, because this frame's actually resting on the bees right now, believe it or not, and they're just all moving out of the way. I'm gonna take another frame, some drawn comb. I'm gonna put them on the other side of her, opposite her. So that way, those are dead center right in the frame, right there. And you can see the bees, they're just kind of chilling. This has actually been a pretty easy release. I did not bring my spreaders because I use 9 frames and 10 because I've crushed a bunch of queens as I've inspected them when I had 10, because I'm like smushing them over. So I'm gonna do the best I can to judge distance. Next time I come out here and I inspect her, I'll bring my perfect spreader with me. All right, comrades. Don't hold anything against me, because I know you're Russian. Although, I will say one thing. They advertise Russian. Maybe there are true Russian bees, but they're bred and reared in America. You know what I mean? It's like, you almost look like an Italian bee to me, to be honest with you. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like, okay. All right, so we got her in place. We'll allow her. Some guys do 24 hours. Some guys do 3 days, 2 days. I'm gonna give her 2 days. If they do not eat that candy out and release her, I'm gonna do emergency release, as I had to do on one of the other videos further down on bees. They didn't even start to eat the candy, or the candy was so hard they couldn't even penetrate it. I don't know. But so, there are professional beekeepers that I can honestly tell you that will give her like 24 hours, they'll release her, and they could just tell how the bees are acting, if they've accepted her or not. She's been with these bees 5 days in the postal system. They were conjugated around her cage. I'm gonna already assume they've accepted her, but I'm gonna do the textbook thing and give her like 24 hours, 48 hours for them to eat the candy. But she's probably already been accepted. So as a beekeeper, I will say, this is real important for you new beekeepers. Apply common sense. Apply common sense, because just because you read something doesn't mean it's gospel. There's a lot of bullshit out there, to be honest with you. Try not to crush your bees. Be real mellow with them, because if you crush them, they release pheromones. It tells all the other bees, hey, this guy's being rough with me. Sting them. Oops. That's good stuff right there. The what I use only during the cold time, I'll use just a regular mason jar, 3 little tiny nail holes right here to water right through the top here. So I hold it till nothing comes out. Make sure the holes are in line, and they'll suck that pretty dry pretty quick. Make sure everything's aligned here, and honestly, that's pretty much it for the next day or two. And then after that, we're gonna go to the big top feeders. And then once they start building, we'll make sure she's actually laying and everything. Then we'll go to community feeders and everything. The last thing I always personally do, this is just me. If you're not, at a minimum, you should freaking take some notes on your hive. At a minimum, take some notes. I use an app. It's called Hive Bloom. So what I do is on my Hive Bloom, I go to Sunny Pastures, Virginia. I'll click on it, and I'm gonna say new hive right here. Hive name, Russian. Probably not spelling it right, but it's okay. Select breed. So is Russian even on here? Oh, there it is. There's Russian. Yeah, that's good stuff. Hive type. It's vertical, deep. Selangstrom, deep. Add the hive. So we added Russian to our app here. Everything. So we got it right here. So we're gonna go ahead and in there. I consider the first day we installed it an inspection, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. They were pretty gentle. Queen spotted, yes, very powerful queen, so I'll cursor over. Brood, no, because they're new. Diseases, no. Pests, no. Queen cells, spotted, no. Weather, use current is very, so if you're picking out satellites and everything, you just say use current. And if you're picking up satellites, and it'll put it in the weather that you had that day, but we're about 60 degrees. And we're off grid out here on this property, so we may have to put, we installed 3 pounds. Notes, install package. Russian. And that's it. So we did that. I think it's really important, guys, to be organized. Health, none. Queen, she's Russian, but I'm gonna estimate her. I'm not gonna name her or anything. I'm gonna estimate her to be. So queen bee takes 16 days, and she's got a mate. Let's give her another 8 or so on top of that, and everything. And then she's shipped through the mail and everything. So let's go ahead and queen bee. Let's go ahead and go March 28th. She's probably no, she's older than that. Sorry. She's gonna be. Let's go March 2nd. She's unmarked. Click on the calendar. Let's go back to March 2nd, roughly. And she's not clipped. We're not queenless in our hive right now. So these things really, really help. We're not going to harvest the honey, feed. We'll say we fed her sugar water, 1 quart. We'll add that feed to it and everything. See if we can get out there. Notifications. So no task. We're going to click on tasks right here. We're going to add a task right here. Subscription. It's a check queen. Check queen. Due date. We want to check her on the 4th. Just a few days right there. Create. And that's it. So curse out of here. Do the best we can. So we got Russian right there. Task. I thought I added that. Create. I'm just curious. Oh, there we go. There's notifications right there. All right, I may have to do this again. Description, check queen. Check queen. Add due date. I'm gonna check her in 2 days. Create. Good. So there we go. So we got all our hives here. So the only other thing, I'm going to click on here, and I am going to let my camera take control of my iPad, and I'm going to take a picture of our Russian beehive right here with the markings we have right there. I'm going to go ahead and use a photo right there, so it'll show up right there. Done. So that should take effect. I don't know if it has to go up the cloud. I don't understand why it's not showing up right here. I may have to call the company right here and ask them, because my hives at the house, it actually does work. Yes, kind of pisses me off that it doesn't work right here, because it's immediate at my hives at the house. Use photo, because it's one of those things, you know, you really, I like that feature. It's like, I get really pissed off if it doesn't work, because I'm not connected to the internet. Anyways, other than the photo, I'm able to track when I fed them, any parasites, any diseases, anything else, when I inspected them, how much food I gave them and everything. It is geo-referenced to satellites, so it does track where they're at and location-wise and everything. So Anyways, these Russian bees are comrades. Hold nothing against them. I know they're Russian. You know, I will say on the big old planet of things, people are people no matter where you go on the planet Earth. You know, from my, you know, I did Navy SEAL, Special Operations, helicopter pilot in the Army, over 30 years military. People are people no matter where you go. So these bees, I just want to be happy, do well. And I hope everybody's doing well on the planet Earth right now, because these are kind of a little bit troubling times. Things are getting a little bit real out there. And I hope and pray for everybody. You guys take care. Have a great day.